Hello and welcome to How to Lead Your Business with Peter Cox. You're only as good as the people you surround yourself with. How will you lead them? Join us for this podcast where we dive deep into business leadership. This is the podcast where business owners and entrepreneurs learn how to grow their leadership to unlock business and personal growth, empower teams and drive success. Whether you're a startup or scaling to the next level, we've got the insights, the strategies, the intellectual property you need to grow in leadership, to fuel your team and fuel your business to go to the next level. Let's get into this. Welcome to How to Lead Your Business, and thank you for joining me for the final part of our Leading Through Change series. I'm Peter Cox, founder of Leadership Dynamics, and if you've made it this far, you already know this. Real leadership is about embracing the discomfort of growth. In this episode, I'll help you pull it all together, not just creating change, but sustaining it. We'll talk about commitment, consistency, courage, and the daily decisions that define great leaders. Because when change starts with you, it doesn't stop with you. It multiplies through your people. Whatever you do will duplicate, good or bad. Let's finish strong.
In this, I'm going to discuss some key strategies that I've used to effectively implement change in my own life, in my own businesses, and in my clients' businesses and elite sporting professional teams that I'm associated with. Create a culture of change in the team that you lead. You hear the word culture a lot in the leadership worlds, in business, in professional sport. Culture is leadership. Good leadership, good culture. Bad leadership, bad culture. Effective leaders understand the power of creating a culture of change in the businesses and the teams that they lead. And there's a lot that goes into that, which I'm going to talk a lot more about in Module 9 in relation to developing a winning team culture. If I was to ask you, do your words encourage change? Do your actions encourage change? How effective are you at setting clear expectations to bring about a change in thinking and behaviours to implement effective change in the business and team that you lead? Create a culture of trust. Trust is a big word. If I was to ask you this, who trusts you? Who doesn't trust you? If I don't trust you and you're my leader, I'm going to really resist change. If I trust you, I'm going to embrace that change because I don't feel threatened by change. So what are you doing as the leader every single day of your life to earn and re-earn trust? And I live my life by that principle. And I will talk about what we call the FLITU principle in later modules. But the T stands for trust. What are you doing to create a culture of trust which is going to enable you as an effective leader to implement change? Lead with self-assurance and confidence. What that means is when I look at the leader, does that leader have a presence? Does that leader have a posture about them that gives me confidence that I'm going to follow that leader over that brick wall when they're implementing that change process? What do you need to do to have a greater presence as the leader that wants to implement change? You need to discern when is the right time to instigate the change process. Timing is everything. Yes, as a leader, we want to bring about effective change. But if we get the timing wrong, it's going to create confusion, doubt, loss of momentum, loss of belief, mistrust. So here I am talking about the importance of leading teams with effective change. But as a leader, we've got to have that leadership skill of having the sense and feeling to discern when is the right time to bring about that change. If I was to ask you this question, is it right now? Is the time right now for you to implement change? In later modules, I'm going to talk about Abraham and Hicks's emotional guidance scale. But what I've learned in my 31 years of building my own businesses and having the wonderful experience of being part of my clients' lives with leadership dynamics and seeing them scale their businesses using this program, one of the key tools that I talk about is understanding the emotional guidance scale. Where are people emotionally in that team that you lead? There are 22 different levels of emotion. In professional sport, we've got a 5 to 7 day turnaround to know where the players are emotionally to get them ready for the next big game. Now, when there is one game and there's 26 weeks in a row, you really got to know where those players are emotionally. And the higher we get them up that emotional scale, the more they will embrace change in relation to what it takes to win that next game. There's no difference in business. Whether you have 3 employees or 300, every single person is a human being and they are being affected by the challenges of life and their emotions are being affected. Now, depending how low they are on that emotional guidance scale will depend how much they embrace change. Sometimes people don't embrace change, not because they don't agree with the change, but because emotionally they are really hurting in life. And if you know where they are, and my mentor Jim taught me this a long time ago, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And when people know that you really care about them, they will embrace change. Allow yourself to be led. I'm really going to cover a lot on that topic in Module 2. But here's what I do know. If I was to ask you this question, who leads you? Who is it? Who is speaking into your life independently? Who's challenging you about your vision? Where do you go for third-party advice? Because my journey in life, and here I am now, I'm only here today because in 1992, I got led for the first time in my life. And it's where leadership dynamics and leading for growth came from, is the power of being led one-on-one by a great man. Jim changed my life. 22 years, I went through the process of being led. 6 years ago, Jim died of esophageal cancer. Biggest loss in my life. All I can tell you is I would not be sitting here today if it hadn't been for that awesome leader and entrepreneur speaking into my life, leading me one-on-one and challenging me to keep bringing about effective change in my life and the businesses that I was growing and leading. And through going through that process, Leadership Dynamics was born, and the Leading for Growth program has come out of that power of being led one-on-one. Here's what I do know. If you are being led effectively by someone that's independent, that speaks into your life and challenges you, you will implement more effective change in your life and the teams that you lead than if you're not led and you're leading yourself. Continually grow your leadership skills. What are you doing to grow yourself? What are you doing to grow the people you have around you? This Leading for Growth program is designed to do both. It's to grow you as the owner, the leader of that business, the team you're leading, but also to grow people around you. Because when you grow people around you, as well as growing yourself, you're going to bring about a change in thinking and a change in their behaviours. And as a result of that, people are going to resist change less because they understand the power of changing themselves. If I was to ask you these questions, what are you reading right now? What are you watching right now? What podcasts are you listening to? All I can tell you is from my own life, leaders are readers. I never liked reading. I still don't really like reading, but I look for the wisdom in the books I read because my mentor Jim taught me a long time ago that smart people write books. So I started reading self-help books. I've listened to 10,000 podcasts. I've been to over 500 leadership conferences, of which I've spoken to 200 myself now. Leadership dynamics and leading for growth has come out of those three questions that I'd answer for myself. The Leading for Growth platform is designed to reach out to people like you that are watching this video right now, wanting to impact your life by bringing about a change in your thinking to give you the hunger to want to grow yourself so that you can implement change in your life. Grow your people so they have the ability to adapt to change, which is going to help you implement change. I touched on that before. What are you doing to grow people around you? The number one asset of any business is the people. There's no point you, the leader, the owner, the head sporting coach, growing yourself, but no one's growing around you. That's a real key strategy to implementing effective change. What are you doing to invest time and invest resources into the people around you so they become better? What are you doing as the owner or the leader of that business to set clear expectations about how you want certain behaviours in individuals in that team that you lead to get better? Setting clear expectations and measuring behaviours will help you implement effective change in the team that you lead. Commit to change and be prepared to do whatever it takes to ensure effective change happens. I've spoken about the fact that change comes at your inconvenience, not your convenience. I've touched on the fact that it's uncomfortable. I use this line from my mentor, what are you prepared to give up to go up? I've never forgotten that line. If you want to bring about change in your life, what are you prepared to give up to go up? And in my own life, my passion is golf. I live on a golf course. One day I will play golf 6 to 7 days a week. In 2 weeks' time, I'm playing golf in Queenstown. I've played golf all over the world. But for the first 3 years of the first business that I started to build and develop, I put the golf clubs away. I paid a price. It was seriously uncomfortable. But if I hadn't made that one little change in my life, I wouldn't be sitting here doing this video talking to you right now. I've got no idea where I'd be. That's my story. That's my love of my life. Outside my family is playing golf. What are you prepared to give up to go up? Because when you do that, that's when you know you're serious about bringing about change in your own life. Nothing ever stays the same forever. Can you believe how quickly time passes? I can't believe I've had my own businesses for 31 years. I can't believe my two sons are 25 and 23. I can't believe I've been with the same lady for 34 years, Deb. 31 years married next month. Things keep changing. What needs to change in your life? What needs to change in that business that you're growing? What needs to change in the people you surround yourself with? What behaviours need to change? What thinking needs to change? Change is inevitable. Nobody likes change. Everybody resists change. But here's what I do know. If we don't accept that change must happen, you know what's going to change? Nothing. If we change nothing, nothing changes. If we want to progress, if we want to move forward, if we want to grow and build momentum, if we want to win, if we want to get better, then something needs to change. Or change nothing. Just keep doing what you're doing. Or change something.
That's a wrap on our Leading Through Change series. Here's what I want you to remember. Leadership is a responsibility. Change is a choice. Growth is the reward. Don't just consume this content, apply it. And if you want your people to change, grow them, invest in them, challenge them, believe in them, empower them, edify them. I hope this series has ignited something in you, a deeper sense of purpose, a hunger for growth, and a vision for the kind of leader you're starting to become. If it has, I'd love for you to share it with someone who needs it, and keep tuning in. There's so much more to come. Until next time, keep growing, keep leading, and remember, change nothing and nothing changes.